Well, how about that? Everything worked this morning, and I'm live ahead of schedule. Well, that's better than being late, I guess. So, I talked about a few things here and there. Oh, we'll talk about my arthritis at another time. Ow. Oh, ah. Okay. Uh, the big thing for me um, is I found these photographs that I posted 12 years ago. And I don't, it's difficult for me to figure out how to show them to you here. But if you go to my Facebook page, which is Jeffrey Bruff, okay, and you will see, uh, or if you go look up Kent State, and I'm not sure, I posted the pictures 12 years ago, but that was a long time ago to begin with. It's back in the 60s or 70s. Anyhow, it these photos show the National Guardsmen kneeling and firing their weapons at a bunch of young kids, some of whom weren't even involved in the protests. Uh, and one of them gets shot and killed, at least one. Um, Dick Gregory was a comedian. He put an album out about that, and on the album cover are all these photos that people say didn't exist. And those National Guardsmen you see aiming and firing at the students were acquitted, and that was the biggest miscarriage of justice I'd seen at that time. I've seen a lot since then, since Trump's been around, but that was probably at that time the biggest miscarriage of justice I had seen in my life. The fact that they were acquitted of that. Um, did they throw stuff at the guardsmen? Probably, you know. But the guardsmen kept advancing on them. They weren't advancing on the guardsmen, as far as I could tell. Of course, I wasn't there. A couple of my friends who were on their way there got held up in traffic. They were coming from Nebraska, and they got held up in traffic on I forget where they were. Anyhow, they didn't make it, and they were kind of sad and kind of glad they didn't make it when they saw what happened there with the shooting and whatnot. This was a J.D. Vance's home state's National Guard completely out of control, and this was 30, 40 years ago, probably longer than that. Around 69 or 70, something like that. So that's a good 50 years ago, when you think about it. It's a long time ago. Most of you that are watching this don't even know what I'm talking about, but it was the anti war protesters versus the National Guard. Kent State in Ohio was a small school, very vocal. Governor at the time deployed the National Guard to the area. Nixon was president, I believe, and this caused a serious, serious problem. But it helped end the war. I mean, their lives didn't get sacrificed for totally nothing. The fact that that the guardsmen weren't charged, that was a disgrace to the judicial system. But then that's where Republicans were running it. So what can I tell you? The Republicans have never been big fans of the judicial system when it comes against them. But when they can use it to their advantage, they're huge fans of the judicial system. And this isn't, something new. It's just that it's quite more demonstrative at this time than it was back then. But this is just the normal run-of-the-mill situation back then. Guardsmen were distributed. This wasn't the only. I think this wasn't the only situation where guardsmen were sent to a college campus, but this was the only incident of actual shooting. And you can see that these guys weren't trained. I was trained, so I know what they were supposed to do. But I also know when somebody's throwing things at you or yelling shit at you, and you all of a sudden think you're the the greatest thing on uh, planet, it's a different story. All right, what else can I talk about that's somewhat, the blockades in effect? We'll find out later on exactly what happens with that one, or the Strait of Hormuz, and it's done by the United States this time. And Trump just said he's going to start shooting the fast boats, just like he did in Venezuela. Yeah, and some more innocent people can get shot up and killed and whatnot. We don't know if they're innocent or not because we can never find the bodies. You notice that? And you're not allowed access to that. Good to see you too, Jim. Nice of you to show up today. It's sunny out here too. Well, it was. This is a this is a country you can wake up and there can be you cannot see a cloud on the horizon, and an hour later you've got thunderstorms rolling. And this is just an amazing area of Colombia I live in. So, what else is happening out there? Well, you have Iran is getting a shipment of Chinese weapons. It's on its way. I don't know how they're going to get them in there. I think that might be why he decided to blockade now. See, that's the thing. It's a blockade by Iran already. But what they're doing is they're saying that Iran was letting people pay bribes and whatnot to get through there, or bribes, whatever you want to call it, to get through there, and now it's not happening. Uh, you're not interrupting me. I don't pay any attention to you till I want to. So anyhow, hey, listen, you guys can all comment on this video if you want. It's an open source. I'm not being a prick about it or anything like that. You see Lucy sleeping with me. You see all the garbage behind me and everything, and over on the sides and whatnot. This is my little office space. The door's open. People walk by all the time and look in. Uh, my videos are live. They're not edited. I don't see the sense in editing. What's the deal? You want to see professionalism? Turn on the TV, okay? In order to see, if you really want to see and have honest opinions, you got to come here. He's happily listening. Okay. But this is a. This is just, I'm an independent guy. I'm not trying to make money off of this or something. This just is like a source of expression for me that I don't have otherwise. Otherwise I can't. This stuff stays in my head and I get nutty. So I'm already crazy enough. I don't need any. I don't need any other influences for my to maintain my insanity. So I said the Chinese weapons are on their way. The oil prices are up. And here's the thing about the blockade and everything else. Now, had you looked 2 days ago and checked the stock market prices were going down. Stock market was going up. Oil prices were going down. Now it's the exact opposite. So some people made a lot of money. And those people that made a lot of money are insiders within the Republican Party. Okay? And very close to Donald Trump or Stephen Miller, who I think is the actual architect of all this crap. He's one of the architects of Project 2025 that Trump said he never saw. He's full of shit. But the oil prices go up. And what happens is the exchange rate goes down, and it dropped a matter of like $20 or 20 pesos to the dollar in about 30 seconds. So that's it's not good for me. Oh, wait a minute. You talk sense, Jeffrey, not a bit of it about lately, say market manipulation. I thought that was illegal. It is illegal unless you're president of the United States. There's been there's investigations supposedly were going on about insider trading and whatnot that Trump's people, the Republicans, are have been doing for a while. It's nothing's going to stop that. It's money. And money's driving everything. Money and greed are driving everything. If you look at the CNN puts up a chart, it says what's driving the market today, and it usually comes up greed right now. You know, it's either fear or greed, not I don't know what you call it, profitability or anything like that. This is just a bunch of greedy Republican assholes. Most of them are unfortunately, most of them are actually in office right now, and they're just continue to do this and take your money and screw you. You know, get this is not get. They said gasoline prices won't come down right away because of uh, what's been done so far to them. You know, like the Strait of Hamas could be open tomorrow, and it would still take 3 or 4 weeks for them to get all the ships going on. All right, let's see. Let's see what else is happening. Swalwell, I think that's a. I don't know if that's the way you pronounce his name. Swalwell was running for governor in California. Four young ladies came out and accused him of sexually raping them and harassment and everything else. Now, I had no problem with that, him being in trouble because of that, because I believe a lot of them guys do that. But he supposedly drugged them, and it just seems that some of them kept working for him, and that kind of that sort of bothers me, you know, because well, I guess not. They didn't tell anybody. You know, she told her parents, and then was still working for them. This one girl, I think, and her parents ought to be shot. So, but anyhow, he's done. He's fried. He's finished in politics, and I don't know about his marriage. You know, he's probably doing the evangelistic thing where he's kneeling with his wife and praying for forgiveness. She'll be okay until she sees the insurance policies and the will and everything and what his bank accounts. You got Elon Musk in the news. People are trying to figure out what he did with the money from Doge, whatever they want to call it. Uh, what exactly did he do there? You know, when he was there, and that's an interesting question that nobody will be able to answer. And then about Trump, you got Trump with the Iranian situation, and then he's going to argue with the Pope. Now you can't win when you argue with the Pope, because people that believe in the Pope and believe what the Pope says do so with blind faith. Sort of like the people that worship you, they do it with blind faith. It's just, which I've never believed in. And that's why I'm not part of the Catholic Church or any church for that matter, because I don't believe in blind faith. I have questions. If you don't want to answer them, fine. I used to hang out with priests, and everybody says, "What do you?" Because they'll answer my questions. They'll deny what they say in public, but they will talk to me in private, and that's what's important to me. And now we go to the social fund of the day. You have my favorite one was Britney Spears is in rehab again. She's a troubled young lady. Her problem is she's never picked the right guy to help her. At least that's my opinion. I don't know. I never liked her music or anything like that. So don't. And I never liked her attitude to either. So that's just that's I really don't get upset about her being in rehab. And one of the things that she was part of, she used to pal around Paris Hilton, who's got her own television show now on cable, I think. And Paris was doing an interview, which they show as a promotion for the show, where they asked her, "Are you proud of what you've done?" She said, "Absolutely, I am very, very proud." Well, there's a couple of issues I have with that. One is the photographs that she used that she let people take of her not wearing underwear, sitting in a limo or getting in and out of a cab. And Brittany was there too. And you're looking at old, worn out pussies, and that just did not do a lot for my digestive system at the time. And I love women, but these were just a couple of skanks doing stuff to get promoted. You knew that. And then one thing that I've never seen from Brittany that I'd seen from Paris Hilton was a sex tape that Paris Hilton released, blowjob tape. Wasn't very good. She needed to improve her technique and whatnot, but it's out there and you can still find it on the internet because nothing ever. Uh, oh, they love my questions as nearly as much as they love the answers. That's good. Coming up with the questions is the hard part. But anyhow, getting back to that story, that those two guys, I've got no. Well, Paris Hilton, I have no empathy for whatsoever. She's got a child now, and I think her past life should be forgotten, but I don't think she should be given rewarded for it either. I don't think she should get a reward because she so-called cleaned up her act. I'm not sure she did. She's a publicity addict. She's a fame addict. She has to be out there. She can't just sit in the background and count her money. So no sympathy for me there. Maine stopped a data center from being built, and when they stopped it, they found out that there was no permits for it. They had none have been applied, and that there were two others that they didn't know about at the time. This congresswoman or senator, whatever she was, that put this legislation forward banning them. They didn't know these others were in business, and they want to say they want they want them stopped temporarily until they can get some information about how much water and electricity they're going to suck out of the state without having to pay them. But I have to see what happens there. What else is Orban, the president of Hungary, Trump's little friend, who he admired so much? Well, guess what, Trumpy? They kicked him out of office by a big margin. So if I was you, old boy, I start packing my bags and start looking for a trailer park to live in. Hide out at least. All right, that's it for me. You know me. I hit the 15-minute mark or something like that, and I start to blab, 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 blab about stuff I don't know about. Don't want to see the Hilton tape? Yeah, it's not really good. You're not missing much. You have to find porn sites to find it. And, I just look for information that when I hear something's out there, I look everywhere I can to see it. Just to see what it's like. Because if it's really what they're talking about, if it's really her, it was really her, and it was really what they were talking about. But let's see. What else have you said that I should answer you for? Good luck to the people of Hungary. Yeah, I think they've done a good job there. I mean, I don't know what's going to work out for them, but they just got tired of this clown. And yes, Trump's got to be worried about that. I hope so, anyhow. Maybe he'll get an annual. Oh, I shouldn't say that stuff. Don't. I take it back. I don't say any bad things about him. I just want bad things to happen politically, not health wise. Because when I believe in karma. I don't need any more bad shit coming my way. All right. Okay, everybody. That's it for me today. Go find a way to subscribe to me so I'm coming on the air. You can go to notices on YouTube or whatever, and you can adjust it to so you can see me. My regular videos, the posted videos, are on Jeffrey Bruff at YouTube, and or you can go start out by Googling a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you see what you can see what happens there. All right, everybody have a great day. I'm gonna go have breakfast, lunch, or whatever it is. What time is it? See you guys. Love Karma, love Lucy. We love you too, buddy. All right, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Like I said in the posted video, Thursday's going to be a mess. I have a 10 o'clock appointment, so I'll be leaving the house around 9:30, 9:40, 9:15, something like that, to go to a doctor's appointment, which will take 15 minutes. But then I'm going to try and take my wife to lunch if I can, see if she's up for it. She hasn't really doesn't really get out of the house or anything. All right. So in the meantime, people, take care. Have a good day. I will see you tomorrow. I will try to be on time. In the meantime, have a great day. Enjoy the weather where you are, and I'll sweat here. Bye.